Hi everyone and good morning. I'm out for a walk. I recently shared a life update video and I had a few people asking me about the histamine diet that I've been following. I have a busy day today, lots of filming and of course real estate stuff that I've planned for today because I have the cottage to myself, as Brian will be in the city doing things for work. So I figured I'll take you along with me on my morning walk and share how that's going and kind of what it is. So let me just preface this by saying I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist. This is strictly based on my own experiences. And I encourage you, if any of it sounds familiar to you, to look into it yourself, speak to your health practitioner, whether it be a family doctor or a naturopathic doctor, nutritionist, etc. Because everybody is different and not all of us have the same, like the exact same response and symptoms, right? And all of our biology and all that is different. We're all different. So yeah, definitely look into it and see what makes sense for you. So I first heard about histamines when I was listening to a podcast with Dave Asprey, who's a biohacker. And I thought, one thing that he said, if there's certain foods that you eat and you sneeze or have a runny nose, you have a response to it. It could just mean that your body needs a break from histamines. So I didn't do anything about it then. I just thought, well, I don't know, maybe it's not related. That was a while ago, probably a year ago. Kept doing my thing, not realizing that it was in fact true for me. But I shared in my life update that it was when I went to a dermatologist and I asked him to look at my stomach because it was been really itchy. I wasn't sure if that was a perimenopause symptom because itchiness is a perimenopause symptom. But he looked at it and he said, my skin was fine. It wasn't a skin issue. It was a histamine issue, and that I need to go and get an allergy test done to see what I'm allergic to. So when he said that, that put two and two together for me. So I started going down a rabbit hole, doing a lot of research through ChatGPT mainly, but other sources as well. And I have talked to my naturopath about it in the past, and she said, yeah, that it very well could be. But we didn't really look into it further because I wasn't really having major symptoms. That was a while ago. I see her this month, or next month rather, so I am going to be bringing this up with her. But anyhow, so I was looking into it and realized I had a lot of the symptoms. Runny nose, for me it was runny nose after eating mainly breakfast, and sneezing a lot, the itchiness, fatigue, things like that. So through my research, I discovered that histamine foods either contain high levels, histamine foods are foods that either contain high levels of histamine, trigger the body to release histamine, or block the enzyme DAO that breaks down histamine. That stands for diamine oxidase. Okay, symptoms may cause itching, hives, runny nose, bloating, headaches, or fatigue. I pretty much had all of those. There are foods that naturally contain histamines or accumulate histamine over time, and histamine liberators, meaning that they trigger a histamine release. So I've been keeping a journal, a food journal, to try and decipher which ones these are. When you're dealing with nutrition type things, it's a lot of trial and error. And I've had days where I've had zero itching, and then days where it's coming back. Like today is one of those days. So I had a girls' weekend this past weekend, and I did have some plant-based ice cream. I can't digest dairy, so I had plant-based. Then I was a bit itchy the next day. So I'm like, oh. So then that prompts me to look into the ingredients of that to see if that was a trigger. I also had popcorn. We buy this clean popcorn from the grocery store. It's just coconut oil, Himalayan sea salt, and popcorn. None of that are histamine, but I looked it up. And histamines can build over time if it's not fresh. So I bought organic kernels to pop my own to eat it right away. So it's little things like that. I stopped eating leftovers. I cook fresh because even if a food doesn't have histamine in it, histamines can build up over time on leftover food. So it's very interesting. Foods that I have given up temporarily until all of these symptoms go away is chocolate, tomatoes. Let's see what else. These are things I was eating a lot of. So I'm like, okay, let's just cut those out for now and see how I feel. So chocolate and tomatoes, or tomato, like tomato sauce. I was eating a lot of that. So I cut those out. Let me see, what else have I cut out? Can't think while I'm walking. But yeah, so basically I'm keeping a food journal of everything that I'm eating and how I feel to see what my triggers are. For the most part, the bloating is gone. I'm so grateful for that because, guys, the bloating was so bad, I looked like I was 6 months pregnant. And I've had 2 kids, so I know what that looks like. I couldn't believe it. I look in the mirror, like starting from right on like my top of my chest all the way down. And now my stomach is like, I can feel my ribs again. It feels so good. And moving better. I still have some joint aches, although that could be more from inflammation. But yeah, so slowly the symptoms are either going away or becoming less intense or less severe. So that shows me that I'm on the right track. The histamine, I feel like the histamine diet is also helping with inflammation because I'm also kind of following an inflammation diet as well, because I had a lot of inflammation from perimenopause. So they go hand in hand, in my opinion, at least for me. I had a lot of puffiness in my joints, in my face, neck. Like I can see my collarbone again. So that's nice. And my hands aren't as puffy. My wrists aren't as puffy. I'm starting to be able to wear rings again that I haven't been able to wear in a long time because of the puffiness. So little things like that. I'm walking on the beach now. I love when the horizon is the same color as the sky. It's gray. We've had a heat wave, so we have a bit of a break. It rained last night, so we do have a bit of a break. It's 22 degrees right now. Yesterday it was 30 degrees at this time. Anyhow, so that's mainly it, I think. That's the main update. I don't think I really have anything else to share other than it's trial and error, and I'm doing my best, and that's all we can do, right? I've been eating strawberries this week because they're in season, and strawberries are an inhibitor. They don't have histamines in them, but they can inhibit a histamine response. So it's just really hard because you think that you've cut everything out, and then you eat a couple of things like strawberries and popcorn and the plant-based ice cream. I know sugar's not good for inflammation, and I pretty much have cut all sugar out apart from what's naturally in any fruit that I eat. But that was a treat. We went to an ice cream place on the beach. So, yeah, and then I was itchy. But that's okay. It'll just take a little bit to get out of my system. And then it's like recalibrating. But what else was I going to say? That's basically it. I can't remember what else I was going to say, but feel free to ask more questions if you have them. I'm happy to share my experience in case it helps somebody. And again, just remember that you want to look into it yourself to make sure that it's the right thing for you. It has taught me a lot so far. I always did kind of eat whole foods. Well, I did eat whole foods, but I did eat a lot of leftovers before. I ate chocolate pretty much every day, like dark chocolate, not the, high sugar processed chocolate. I make a lot of my own foods, like my own, chocolate balls with no preservatives in it. Like things like that, thinking like, well, I mean, it is healthier than buying the stuff that's really high in processed, sugars and fillers and things like that. But yeah, I didn't know that chocolate was a trigger for histamines. So that was a bummer because I love chocolate. Oh, coffee is another one, even decaf coffee. I gave up as well. I'm feeling so much better. I drink lemon, I boil water, and I put my hot water in a teacup with lemon and sea salt for electrolytes and for digestion. Apple cider vinegar, I just realized that's another one. I ate a lot of apple cider vinegar, whether it was in my salads or just like literally drinking like just a little shot of it every day for stomach acid. In my 30s, late 30s, early 40s, mainly late 30s, I had a lot of digestive issues. And my doctor put me on antacids. So I was on those for a long time. And I was on the highest dosage you could get. And it worked for a very long time until it stopped working. And that's when I went to go see a naturopath. We're going back years and years and years. And she got me off of all prescription things because it was doing more harm than good. I didn't know that. I just thought, well, it must be good because it does give me relief. So I'm wondering if back then, if that did some damage. So the apple cider vinegar helped so much. It helped me digest foods. I was able to eat foods that I had to cut out for a while for my digestion and like stomach pains and things like that I had. So yeah, I thought, oh, let's start with the apple cider vinegar again. I stopped it for a while. Let's get that back. Not because I was having any digestive issues, but because I thought it was good for me. But little did I know, fermented foods can trigger. I think fermented foods do have histamines in them. So I had to cut that out. So it's temporary, and then when it's time to reintroduce histamine foods, like once all of the symptoms have gone away, then I introduce one at a time, do a small amount, wait 72 hours before I try again. If I have no symptoms within those 72 hours, then there's a lot of animals in that tree. So I'm hearing things. Yeah, so then I slowly reintroduce if I haven't had any symptoms in 72 hours and gradually increase the amount. So it's not like eating a whole lot of something. When the symptoms go away, a small amount to see how I feel. And if I do have a response, then I have to treat my body again. So it's reintroducing one food at a time to see how I feel. So it's going to be a long road. I did this before in my 30s when I was going through all my digestive stuff, and I've been pretty much following a low FODMAP diet since, because that really does help. And I slowly had to reintroduce FODMAPs to see which ones I can tolerate and which ones I can't. I pretty much can tolerate all FODMAPs now, except for garlic. Garlic still gives me a lot of trouble, which sucks because I love garlic. But Anyhow, that's a conversation for another day. FODMAPs. Oh, I didn't think that was going to come up in this video. Anyhow, I'm going to stop this video because I've been chatting for a while now, and I'm going to get on with my walk. Yeah, I'm going to get on with my walk. And that's it. If you have questions, please let me know. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you are having any struggles, I find it interesting that even though foods can be really healthy, they can cause a response in your body. I just find that so interesting. So yeah, I guess moral of the story is listen to your body. Just listen to your body. Tune in. If something doesn't feel right, it isn't right. You're not wrong in how you feel. On another note, I went to my doctor recently and I asked, can we get a blood test done to make sure that I do have inflammation? And he said, you can, but it won't show where the inflammation is coming from, so what's the point? So then there's that. So I'm like, I'm just taking all of this into my own hands now. And yeah, and it's working. Listen to your body, you know. All right, I'm gonna sign off now. Thanks for coming on my walk with me. I'm gonna finish up and get on with my day. I appreciate you guys, and I love that you are genuinely interested in my journey. And thank you for the comments on how me sharing has been helping you, whether it be my perimenopause symptoms or other health and wellness things that I'm experimenting with. That I love that. I love when people share because that's how I learn. So I'm just here to give it back and to share with you so that you can feel your best too. All right, so have a great day. I hope you get outside and enjoy nature wherever you are, whether it's water or forest or just putting your feet in the grass. Take some deep breaths, journal, and take care of yourself. Mwah. Bye.